guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry that I'm late today. Again, like extremely late. So sorry. But at least I said it 30 minutes later than usual, like the booking itself. Anyway, thank you, Rented Identity-san, for your super chat. Always, I thank you so much. Such a good person. Every time I live stream, there's a super chat. Good morning, hello, good morning to everyone except the CCP. Yeah. Do you guys hear me well? I hope. When you go have a baby, wish it was soon. It's something that we are gifted, and it's not in my control. So yeah. Like it's sad that I can't seem to have a baby yet, or I'm already 35, so I'm kind of sensing like maybe I don't have the body to have a baby. But if that's the case, then it just means that I'm supposed to concentrate on my work, like talking to you guys and talking to National Diet members and everything. So that's gonna be my life if that's the case. Yoko-san, とても可愛いですよ。日本の女の子はとても可愛いです。Oh, thank you. Saying that Yoko is very cute. Japanese girls are cute. Yeah, they are. I don't know about me, but I'm very thankful that you think that way. I didn't get that, I never got cute when I was young as a Japanese girl living in Japan. Like our values are different. Like, I don't know what it is, but I can get kind of like, I don't know, Westerners get attracted to me, but Japanese guys get frightened by me. And I never got attentions from Japanese guys. So no Tokyo this weekend. I'm going to Tokyo tomorrow, actually, with my husband. Yeah, we're actually having a press conference tomorrow. So yeah, excited about it. Of course, we are gonna, talk about CCP. I am not gonna be the speaker. The speakers will be the agents that are, oppressed by CCP. So you hear me fine. Good. Oh, that's too slow. I forgot how to read it, but thank you for your super chat. Keep fighting. Yes, sir. We have. I put the title like the world war. Like, are we in a world war? Because like I I should read newspaper more often, but today, like, I'm like, oh, I need to catch up with the news. And I just saw, like, for example, let me get it. Oh, okay. So it's like America encouraging or stimulating the interactions with Taiwan. It's about America and how like Biden administration is focusing on Taiwan right now to fight against China. And on that, in that sense, it's the same as Trump administration. Like they are carrying on the same kind of policy, like direction wise. And below that, I see like, Japan and America exercising like military, what you call like military practice or exercise in the East China Sea. So it's like all over the place. It's like we're fighting against China, like in a military sense. And I just read all these news articles and realize like, we are actually like literally fighting against China. And it's like anything can happen at this point, especially because, like there are two things I think that firstly, we are in this pandemic because of Wuhan virus. It came from China. And even though the free world is accusing and criticizing China so massively altogether, including sanctions, China is still free. They are doing whatever the heck they want. And they're somehow, and they do have allies, their own allies like Russia and whatever countries that they are with. And so they're free. They are somehow okay with this pandemic, causing this pandemic, and they're rather making money out of this situation that they've created. So they are kind of sensing maybe that, oh, we can do whatever now. Like it's a chance because the world is in pandemic, the economy is affected in the free world, like especially America, Japan, and Europe, and blah blah. So now is a chance for CCP to expand. So that might be one of the reasons why they are going aggressive, especially they took over Hong Kong in this pandemic. And at the same time, though, Xi Jinping is kind of desperate to make sure that he has the leadership in his country. He the dictatorship of China always has to fight against the world and against the domestic political people, if you know what I mean. That inside of the party, there are always power struggles, and they are fighting within all the time. So in order to fight and win inside of his country, he needs some kind of legacy, that he needs to show that he is special, that he is the leader. He is the only leader in China. So maybe that's why he is desperate, especially because I believe that next year there will be another time to decide the leader again. Like if he's gonna be like, it's not an election, but he's gonna be chosen again next year. So it depends on what he does now, if he can continue to be the leader of China. So yeah, you should go see a doctor. Maybe they can help. I am seeing a doctor, but meh. It's a mystery, about babies. What is a typical Japanese perception of the US Midwest? Boring and nothing to do. I think it's worse that people are not even aware of the Midwest, because there are some movies on like Midwest, but like we don't get to think about it. When we hear the US, it's usually New York, California, or Texas. Is Texas Midwest? I don't even know. But even Texas, I don't think people even think about Texas. It's usually New York and California, like all these liberal states, and how hardworking people are, and how developed the US is, and that sort of things. So I think that we first have to acknowledge that there are other parts of the US, if you know what I mean, because the Hollywood is so influential, and like we get to learn, like I am different, right? Like I'm in the political field, so I get to learn a lot of different perspectives, but usual, like ordinary Japanese people, they only learn about the US or hear about the US only through movies or TV shows, or sometimes the news. Like people know about Trump, but they don't even know the difference between Trump and Biden. I often get asked, actually, like, who's better for Japan, Trump or Biden? I'm like, what kind of comparison is that, But people just don't know. People are ignorant here. Yeah, you can do it. Believe in you. Go, Yoko, baby, go. Thank you. Some women get pregnant at 50. Yeah, I hear. Like, yeah, this local woman who's in the 60s, she told me that there is this woman that got a baby after like 11 years or something. Like, since they started to, make efforts. So we never know. It's all in the hands of God, right? Yep. Hello, I'm moving to Japan next year. Ooh, is it hard to find conservatives to hang out with in Tokyo? No, it's not difficult. There are lots of conservatives in Tokyo. Actually, Tokyo is the best to find conservatives. They are active. There are lots of meetings or like events, like protests and gatherings and study sessions and so on. So I'm sure there will be something that you can join, and I can get you information if you need. Like people tweet out all this event information, so I can retweet and so on. Will Japan help if Taiwan is attacked by CCP? We will, but it's I think that we have a lot of limits, so not probably not like darkly, but in different ways than other developed countries, if you know what I mean. But we are, doing all this like exercises with other military forces in the world, though. I'm so glad that the Europe is coming to Asia, especially the UK and France. They're showing their presence in Asia now, like militarily. So that's a huge step. Dada's love. You pronounced it pretty good, and don't serve me. I was enlisted. What's enlisted? Enlist? It's what? What's the word? What's the word? Enlisted. Oh wait, I need to see it. I still don't know. Oh, you were in the military? Huh. Big words. I need to learn English still. Hi from California. Oh, hello. I've been to California only once. I almost walked to Mexico. I was like, did I tell you guys? Like I've been to America twice, once to meet a boy in Virginia, another time to meet a Mexican guy, like legal Mexican. He was legal, okay, but he Mexican guy who was like a heavy metal musician. He was like an online boyfriend of me at the time, and I went to see him actually during Obama administration. I believe it was in 2008. I went to San Diego, but then that's when that happened, when the economy collapsed in the US, and I was there in San Diego, and my online boyfriend who I went to see was busy trying to make sure that he can still have the job and so on. So I was left alone in the motel. And one day we went to the mall together, and then he was like, oh, I need to go, like, and he also had a hobby of like cars, like he modifies cars. I don't even know if that's legal, but he modifies cars, and he had to go somewhere to pick up his parts and so on. And I was left alone in the mall. And then he's like, find a way out, find a way back to the motel because it's like in a walking distance. And I don't even know the direction. I don't even have a map. But I was just left alone. I don't know how I survived. But then I was contacting my friend on my phone that I had there, but the battery died out. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die here, right? And then, but I finally asked somebody at the mall to, like there's a motel, there must be a motel nearby that I'm staying at, and can you show me the way? And the person explained, and I walked around, and then I saw a line of people just walking, and so I thought like, oh, maybe that is leading to somewhere. And I followed them, and I realized later that they are Mexicans going back to the country or something. Like that's what I thought. Like my English ability was pretty limited at the time, so I don't even know if I understood the situation correctly, but that's what happened. Like I was following Mexican people because they had lots of bags and blah blah blah. Anyway, that's a long story time. Yeah. You're lucky you made it out of California. Man. Modding cars is legal. California is really strict with what you can do, though. Interesting. Intelligent and studious, beautiful lady. Oh, hope to keep you as a friend. Keep up your great research. Thank you. That is very nice of you. Thank you. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Yoko, you seem to like Secretary Anthony Blinken a lot on Twitter. What is your thoughts on him? It's not that I like him, or it's rather like it's not like the passion towards former President Trump. I just expect like very little from Biden administration. So every time Biden administration has shows their uh, stance against China, like how they are when they show that when they show that China is a threat, then I'm like, good. Because I believe that the Biden family is very close to CCP. So every time I realize that, the administration, however, is, pretty like critical, or what's the word? Like strong against CCP, then I'm like, ooh, that's good. So it's not anything special that, yeah. But what I am realizing, like reading a newspaper and all, like is that it's better than Obama administration, maybe. I don't know, like national security wise. I don't know about what Biden administration is doing uh, economically inside of the US. I know that he is trying to raise the taxes in the US, but as for national security, the policies that I see from the administration is good. So that's just my simple stance, and nothing. I haven't really been looking into Blinken and all yet. Do you have samurai in your family? No. I don't think there are samurais anymore. But my dead grandpa's brother was a number one kendo player in Japan, but he died in the World War II, but like serving in the military. But yeah, he was. I believe that he got some sword from like the imperial family or something. Like he was very famous at the time. And yeah, we don't have that sword though. Like in my family, it's some other like relative probably owning that. Inky. Okay, hi. Texas is not Midwest. It's unique. Used to be the Republic of Texas, its own country. Yes. Yeah, I need to learn history of the US. I have the book of like a the history book of America, written in both English and Japanese, and I have it and I haven't read it. I should learn. Yeah. But I was seeing some movies though about Texas and so on, like all this gun shooting movies. Okay. Hi, Yoko. New York has become like the dystopian movie as Escape from New York, thanks to the Democrats. Yeah, my Twitter followers, actually, like multiple of them, told me that they are escaping from New York, that they are moving to another state, especially when BLM movement was. It's not a movement. It was a riot when it was intense. They left New York. What happened to BLM? Are they still like vandalizing the cities? Like we don't hear that anymore. I don't know what they're up to now. Greetings from Texas. God bless Japan. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I need to go to Texas one day. Yo, the problem America has problem America has is making empty threats and promises. The reason both Iran and China have become aggressive in their regions is because the Obama and Trump administrations made threats. But wait, what? 20 but one is like half. What? I don't know if I'm understanding that, but yeah. Empty threats and promises. That's what politicians do in any country. Kyomokai. Oh, thank you. Said that I'm cute again today. That's nice. Yes. When you get here, just try to contact me. And I can give you information. Oh, here is the second one. But didn't follow up with action. So Iran and China see America as a paper tiger. Yes. Yes, they see it through. When we are just saying it, they know it, right? Like it's so interesting that countries like that, like China and so on, and like all this it's not, you guys don't like democracy. It's like non-free world, like those countries that have dictators, they don't understand our language, they only understand power. So it's like it's sometimes it's sometimes just a waste of time to do diplomacy with those countries. Like you should just show power instead of talking. Right? That's what I think, because it's not that but it's people say like, oh, it's dangerous to show power and like making tense atmosphere and so on. But I'm like, no, that's their language, you know. They don't have the culture to talk it out. Yeah, let's hang out and see each other's feelings and so on. No. They don't understand it. So Have you heard of those helicopter carriers in Japan that are clearly aircraft carriers? There are. I don't know if it's the same thing. There are some aircrafts that the left here is fighting against, but I don't know if that's the same one. Helicopter carriers, but aircraft carriers. Complicating. Is Japan making vaccine passports mandatory? I don't know about that. Are they? I don't know. But like, this is, by the way, regarding COVID, this is the newspaper from today, and you see the chart here, or table, I should say. Like you see the number, it's like prefectures, like going up and down. I believe it's infection. Yeah, like they're talking about like new cases and how much they know the routes and PCR, the exam number and so on. Like it's all, well, lots of numbers. But it's rising again, the number of the infections rising again. And in the middle of that, I need to go to Tokyo tomorrow. I'm kind of scared. It's like, yeah. It's so endless though. Like people are so tired of this COVID thing. I don't know why it keeps coming back. Because in my prefecture, it died out pretty much. But then recently, again, like it started to rise again. I'm like, what's going on? I have every confidence that Japan will respond to China's inevitable invasion of Taiwan. The question is how much they can do. And that's a pragmatic limitation. And yes, I was a third class petty officer. Cool. Even though I don't know what petty officer is, I need to be familiar with all these things. But yeah, how much they can do. Hmm. The thing about Japan is that there are lots of things that we can do, but you know, we try to dodge the responsibility, blaming on our constitution or other countries or certain party inside of our country and so on. And we just keep making excuses because politicians just don't have balls. I don't know if that's a right, like a socially good example, but yeah, they don't have the courage to do things. Like nowadays, our politicians are just weak, so weak, man, so frustrating. Hello from Washington State. Whoa, hello. Nice to hear from you. We have to find loopholes. I see. I see. Okay, okay. Let's go down. What boyfriend would do something like that? Yeah, he wasn't really my boyfriend, I guess. He's just a Mexican dude trying to become a heavy metal musician who didn't really have talent. Yeah. I think I broke up with him a couple of times and then completely got done sometime. I don't even remember. It's so crazy. You survived California, Yoko. I should give you badge. Thank you. Yeah, I saw my Japanese friend was living in San Francisco because she was going to the university there, and she took me to to this area where Full House, you know the show Full House is there. Like, she showed me like, oh, that's the place that it's supposed to be, and I saw, but it was so far away I couldn't really see. But yeah, but it was nice. And I also, like, she had a boyfriend at the time, and we got into his band and went down this narrow, like really steep slope with the band in the band, and it was so scary. Man, I want to go to America. Like, I love America so much, but we haven't had a chance to visit. You know, my husband and I, we want to go to America. 頭がいいです。毎日頑張って好きです。Oh, thank you. Praising me. Praising me in every way. That's great. Thank you. Okay. Is California that bad? Even just to visit? Try to see the country, not just California and New York. I know. I've never been to New York though. And I don't think I want to go to New York, especially like the really developed area. I don't want to go. It's so scary. It's too scary for me. Like, like someone, I think, was it my friend, American friend? Somebody told me to, go to America when, oh yeah, it's like right before the election, I think. Not this time, but maybe the last time. Like, my friend told me that I should go to America and do the journalism thing, But yeah, it was before the election, I think. But the conflicts were like so massive that my Japanese mentor at the time told me not to go to the States because Americans have guns and like the leftists are so violent and I could be actually physically, endangered. So like one like American guy would tell me to come, but then the Japanese guy is like, no, you shouldn't go. Because yeah, like we come from like Japanese people are so like we don't have any violence here mostly. Like it's a peaceful country, so but especially like seeing the BLM riots and so on, I'm like I want to go, but I don't want to go to the front line, if you know what I mean. Like it's so dangerous, especially because it's the leftists, and sometimes it can be black people too. Like generally speaking, there's this stereotype or racism against Asians too, and I honestly don't know if I can survive in America. I want to go though, but I want to visit. Like, I want to make sure that I know where I am going to. Like meeting like political people and so on. Not generally visiting because it can be dangerous. Sorry, not to talk negatively about your country if you're from America, but it's just my honest emotions. Like, scary. Let's go down. No, up here. BLM has settled down for now. Give them 3 months. The Chauvin trial ends. What is that? The BLM hasn't gone anywhere. And yes, they are still tearing down the statues and destroying things. The news just isn't covering it. Oh, there are two different perspectives here. The election is over. BLM will lay low until needed. Portland is still on fire, though. Ah, man. I wonder what they're gonna do. Thug Lives Matter will riot, and no CCP virus cases occurs. Suddenly the virus becomes woke when these thugs riot and loot with the backing of millionaires and billionaires. Yeah. No CCP virus cases occurs. Yeah. Isn't it crazy? Like I kept hearing this point that like before, is it before the election? I kept hearing that like BLM people get together and do protests, but on the other hand, Christians want to go pray at church and they can't because it's it's the virus can get to you. Like it's so crazy. It's so double standard. Okay, and is this live? Yes, this is live. Brought to you from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. Okay. I have like 25 more minutes to go. I was late today, so. A Chinese spy was arrested in my country, and he openly admitted that the CCP infiltrates almost every country in the world. The population in New Zealand will soon become the second biggest. Ooh. Yeah. CCP and like Chinese people are everywhere in general too. And it doesn't have to be the spies, but like China has this law that like mobilizing law, that when there is some kind of situation, when there's a situation that the CCP decides to mobilize people, then they just tell Chinese people in the world and they will act politically. So it's crazy that China has like Chinatown everywhere. In Japan, I think that there are areas that a lot of Chinese people live too. and there is a Chinatown looking thing in like near Tokyo. So yeah, but CCP spy. What happened to that Democrat that had some kind of relationship with a Chinese spy? Is it Fan Fan? Fan Fan or something, or Fin Fin? I forget. The weird nickname. And oh man, it's the spies are communists are so good with spies. You know, the during the World War II, our country and yours, like if you're from America, America and Japan were both. We had spies inside of our cabinet and so on. Like they come into our organizations and so on. Scary. We can never trust anybody. Right now, by the way, Japan and America are cooperating very well, right? Like economically and militarily. And right now, Russia, though, is talking negatively against America, actually, like especially on like historical disputes or like, or it's not even dispute, but about like atomic bombs and like the World War II stuff. Sometimes Russia nowadays they criticize America historically, and Japanese conservatives or right wings can kind of feel good about it, like, oh, Russia is telling the truth, or they say something good for us. That's what people here think sometimes. And when that happens, what we are doing though is we are falling into the trap of Russia trying to separate us from America. So there are, experts pointing that out, like especially there are like people from Ukraine. Ukraine. I don't know the pronunciation. Yeah, there are two famous guys from Ukraine, and they are the victims of Russia right now. So they are spreading all this important information. Like some people say, like, oh, they are just spreading propaganda against Russia, but it's good because Russia, like the administration, is our enemy because they're not gonna return the islands that they took from us, like in Northern Islands and so on. So like, and because of the propaganda that Russia spreads in the world, even including our country, Japan, Japanese conservatives or right wing sometimes feel close to Putin and so on, but it's a trap. And yeah, it's a Putin is such a smart guy, or Russia in general, I think. I wish I had more influence. People here just want to hear what we want to hear. So that's creating a problem. Hello. Hello. Halo. Going down the comments. Ukraine is correct. Good. America needs Japan. Yeah, Japan needs America. Or it's rather that we are protected by America right now. Putin is very intelligent. He's a rival, but very good leader for his country. Yeah, that's the thing, that he's actually talented. Like how to have the leadership in the country. Like he's not a good guy, like seeing from me, but he's really good at what he does. Isn't it crazy? Like I'm just realizing though, like for example, if you look at Myanmar right now, the situation is just so crazy, right? And I realized, like, man, like that's why maybe people like it's not like I'm not gonna side with any power in Myanmar. Like the example is not good, but like when I see all this like people going out of control in some other countries, I realize like, oh, that's why there are dictators, because sometimes they just they just need a strong leader to lead. Mm, it's difficult, especially land power countries. It's the environment is different and people are different. Like all this sea power kind of people, like us, like in Japan or America or the UK, Australia. Um, we have resources and we don't have to fight over resources, and we're just good neighbors to each other and so forth. But yeah. A lot of people don't understand that civil war in Myanmar never really ended. It just diminished in scale. Yeah, true. Myanmar is a disaster. Aung San Suu Kyi is a brutal hypocrite who allowed genocide to happen. She was put in power by Obama, Biden, and McCain. Yeah, I don't like Aung San Suu Kyi, but I don't know, man. The military, though, I wish the military had more like universal common sense. Like, isn't it crazy that they can chase people around like a hunting? It's so crazy. Yes, Australia and New Zealand love Japan, especially when it comes to rugby. You guys won against South Africa in 2015. Yeah. Rugby, man. Rugby is so. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not my intention. Sorry. This microphone is like you guys. Yeah, we had a world. Is it like a World Cup? Like a world thing here? It actually happened in Fukuoka, my prefecture. Was it like a few years ago now, or I don't know? But it was so fun watching the games. Yeah. And it's so interesting though that a lot of the players in our team, like Japanese team, were foreigners, and they had to, you know, have like a certain like they sang together, and there are ways to get connected, to go beyond the cultural barriers. And so like there were lots of coverage on TV about that, like how to unite and so on. Rugby World Cup 2019. Yeah, it was hot. That thing was hot here. And yeah, recently, speaking of sports, there's this swimmer in Japan, like a young girl, Ikee. What's the full name of her? Eriko, I think. She's Rikako Ikee. She she overcame this really really difficult. Is it leukemia or something? Wait. Yeah. Yeah, leukemia. How did I know the word? Leukemia, like this professional swimmer, like young girl in Japan, had leukemia, and she had to stop swimming for a while, and she had to she had to be hospitalized and get all this treatment. And so she lost lots of weight and muscles, and like she was dying almost, but in a way, I think, like, I don't even know how intense it was, but yeah, but then she rose again, and now she is breaking, no, it's not breaking records, but like, it's crazy how she got back in the race. And yeah, Yoko ASMR. Yeah. Don't rub me. Petting microphone, yeah. Petting microphone is so fun. Ah, thank you for your super chat. Is it Aiden? I hope. ARS. Wait, what? Where is that? I'm curious. Tsuka. Oh, Argentina? Or cool. Thank you. It's my first time, I think, seeing that currency. Rugby can get brutal. Yeah. And some rugby fans were saying, or it said that rugby fans think that, for example, soccer, like it's like a soccer games are like childish and so on. And I didn't get that, but after I saw rugby games, I'm like, oh, that's the men's game, you know, like. But soccer is like me. Like it just looks that way after seeing rugby. So it's crazy, but it's cool. Hmm. My this professional gamer that I'm following just started a live stream, so I got a boom the notification. Okay. Where, what should I read? Go back a little bit. What have you guys been like checking out though on the news and so on? Like what interests you right now? What are you following? I don't know what to follow. Except that there's this news on there's this magazine, by the way. This is a conservative magazine in Japan called Seilon, and this is the magazine version of Sankei Shimbun. This Sankei Shimbun. I should show you the logo. This blue thing is their logo. In the wait. In the middle, this one. Sankei Shimbun. And they have this magazine, which I have written articles on too. But this is a top level magazine. So if you read Japanese or if you know people that can read Japanese, you should check this out. And there's my husband's name here. This 4 characters. I don't know if you can see, but this is my husband's name here on the coverage. He wrote articles 2 times in a row. And I wonder. See, my husband is here. That's a picture from like a long time ago. So he's kind of looking kind of round and cute, but yeah, it's talking about the Beijing Olympics, like you know what we should do about the Beijing Olympics. Talking about how we should first tell China to improve the situation regarding the human rights oppression and so on, and we should boycott if they don't change. And he just explains everything. But I just wanted to let you know about this one article. This is written by this Uyghur man. This is our friend too. This is a Uyghur guy. Look, he's so smart though. He's so smart. This is the guy, right? Yeah. His presentation is just so amazing. He's so fluent in Japanese and just so smart. Sometimes Uyghur people can be like super smart. Like I've met multiple of Uyghurs that are like really, really intelligent, and it's amazing how smart they are. But anyway, in Japan, regarding China, what's hot, like what has been the topic for us is how companies are using the labor from the concentration camps in Uyghur, like with like Uyghur people. They are put in concentration camps and they are forced to work and yeah, pretty much the modern slaves, right? And they have this. There are lists of companies that has their like company names here. Like it's a table here, right? And you don't you don't have to understand the Japanese, but there's a list of companies and so on, like Hitachi, Sony, TDK, Toshiba, and blah blah blah, like Sharp, Nintendo, Japan Display, Uniqlo, and Panasonic, and blah blah blah. And it's talking about how, you know, these companies might be using the slavery, you know, from the concentration camps, and especially Uniqlo. I don't know if you've heard, but Uniqlo is like, it used to be like a cheap looking clothes, but nowadays I think they are more fashionable now. But it's such a popular brand of clothing, and but the top guy is really really pro China. So um, yeah, and he's and the company, the brand is attacked by, you know, people that care about the human rights. And he said, but even though he is criticized so much about possibly using the you know, Uyghur people and all this, like what I call is slaves, he said like he's not gonna make any comments on political matters, even though I think of that as a human rights issue, you know. But so there are many companies now or brands now that we are watching, that they might be using all these people. And the reason why we are watching out on this is because if we have the proof, then we can, you know, that's something that we can stop China with, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what we are caring about right now. Let's see. Man. My gamer like I have gamer friends now, like I have a community now, like in Japan. I have like close friends, and they keep talking to each other in the chat. So I just turned off the notification. Nintendo has relocated a lot of manufacturing to Vietnam after Trump era trade war with China due to increased tariffs on Chinese imported goods. Ooh. Man, it might be interesting to become the journalist of that sort of things. Like I am into gaming now, surprising or not surprisingly. Yeah, people don't cover like all this gaming situation and so on. I wonder if there are any journalists regarding that. There are lots of things like the world, all these issues in the world, there are ways to, you know, see things. Like there are lots of perspectives, and I want to learn how to look at like every angle. What? We love slavery here in the US. What does that mean? Oh man. I know TDK, they make electronic components. Yeah. All these parts and so on are allegedly made in like concentration camps, or like in like what I call colonized states. It's messed up, but corporations and big tech support China mainly because they provide them with cheap labor in form of slave labor, and they want to be allowed in to do business in the country. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That like what kind of person could do those things? Like so heartless. Oh man. And Uyghurs are so like they're in such a difficult situation that they, so like in a totalitarian state, everything is controlled, right? So every Uyghur person, like especially those who are in the concentration camps, their data is controlled or managed by CCP. So what's often talked about is what's so-called organ harvest. And yeah, so what that means is that when there's somebody that wants a transplant, is it transplant? Like when they want to get a new organ for their body when they're sick, they go to China, and then China gives you the organ instantly, like in a really, really fast, like in a short period of time. Like it's almost unrealistic. And why, the reason why that can happen is because there are lots of Uyghurs, you know, Uyghur data there, and so they know who matches the patient, and when there's a match, then it's said, like there are lots of testimonies even from the doctors that say that they were doing the procedure, or I mean the surgery. But yeah, they capture this, like, or they have this Uyghur people, and when there's a match, they bring the person on the table, and they, they don't even use like the thing to numb you out. I don't know what it's called, but there's no painkiller, or I don't know the word, man. What is it called? Masui? Anesthesia. Yeah, they don't use that, and they, with them, like, of course they are alive, and cut them open and take out the organ and give to whoever comes, and that's their business, and that has been a problem. And it's just, it's, people talk really, especially the left attacks the history of the Nazi, Nazi Germany. But I'm like, the stuff is happening today by China. So I wonder, I don't know why they are allowed to say, oh, I need to go in 3 minutes. I went to Uniqlo in Ginza back in 2019. Clothes were okay, but nothing special. I know. That's their brand. It's nothing special. It's just casual. And yeah, it's too boring for me, the fashion. But yeah, it's said that they are using this Uyghur Shinkyomen. Oh, I wonder why it's called in English. This is such an English study session. Shinkyomen. あ、間違えた。英語 Xinjiang cotton. Oh yeah, cotton, of course. Cotton. Yeah, it's been a problem. Is Japan giving people the vaccine? Yeah. But starting from politicians and doctors and nurses, I believe. So I was just talking to my gamer friends, like they were saying, like, when are we gonna get the vaccines? But I'm like, I'm not gonna get vaccinated. It's too scary. Vaccines in general, it scares me so much. I don't think my body can handle. Okay. Well, congratulations, Hidetoshi. Thank you. Yeah, he's been writing a lot lately. And yeah, we are going to have a press conference tomorrow, so I believe that my husband will get to have opportunities to write again or speak and so on. Yeah. Yoko, will your husband run for office? He has tried many times before, like every year. It's so crazy that, like, when we first met, he ran for the city level election. He lost, and then with that foundation, though, he got the opportunity to run for the national diet level election, and he did all kinds, actually, like both houses. And yeah, every time he lost, of course, he has never become a politician, but he ran for 5 or 6 times, I think. Yeah, and now he's like, me. He's done now. And he met me, and he started to do all these activities regarding China, and he's really good at it. And especially because the help of me, like English help, the what he can do expanded. So we make a good team, and this is something that like nobody else can do. So we are focusing on our work together. So I don't think he's gonna run for office anymore. Yeah, like if he becomes the politician, then I'm gonna become the wife of a national diet member, and I don't think I can handle that. I will make a good speech as a wife. That's one thing that'll be cool. But then I will have to go to lots of events like a politician. It's like it's crazy. Like it kind of depends on each couple, but usually married national diet member, usually the wife becomes like a politician herself. That she has to attend all these events as a replacement, or like a what you call the alternative, like on behalf of the politician. Wives have to attend meetings and greet and so on, and that's what most national diet members do. So do I want to do that? No. Man. It makes me proud when I see young Japanese kids practicing the New Zealand traditional Maori war dance. Before they play their rugby games. Oh yeah. Oh man, New Zealand was so intense. Such an intense team. I remember now. It's like, wah! Man. Interesting. That's cool that you know a pro gamer. Yeah, I'm helping this professional gamer, like his channel. Like I help him with live streaming. Man, I'm pro gamers though. There are lots of different games though, but the game I've been helping is called mobile, COD mobile, Call of Duty. And it's the kids, they're so young, teenagers and those who are in the 20s that are playing. And pro gamers are young too. So it's like, I feel like I'm like, being their parent or something, taking care of them. So interesting. But anyway, I need to go now. Man, I should start the live streaming already. I just have to make the thumbnail, and I haven't been somehow reluctant. I'm not good at new things, so but once I make the thumbnail and decide the title and so on, yeah, I should just hang out and talk to you guys like this. Stay away from people with needles. Yeah. They attacked the Germans, yet nothing said about the things done by Russia and China, etc. Yes, that's a very, very important point. That's something that we, on those who are on the side of free world, have to point out. We need to keep saying that, because people, especially Putin, I think that people misunderstand him so much. Like it's difficult. Russian politics is something that I don't understand. And it's not like if Putin is bad, then, let's say that we defeat the administration or the regime. then who's the next guy? Like just because the person is the enemy or like the opposite or whatever of Putin doesn't make the person good. It might become somebody even more dangerous. So that's something that it's very difficult in dictatorship countries, like autocratic countries. But yeah, but Putin is a master of propaganda. That's something that I'm aware of, and I hope that more people will understand that. So yeah, I need to go now. Yes, you can handle that. Thank you. Good night. I'm gonna go. Thank you for sticking out, even though sorry, like today it might have been kind of boring, but I'm here to stand with you. Okay. Yeah, baby. Come to me, baby. We'll miss you. I'll miss you too, guys. We should learn Japanese. Oh yeah, you should. Night. I do like him in a way, but not in a political way. Anyway, he's a murderer, Okay, I'm gonna roll out the outro and go. Next week is, what's the date today? 11, 18. Yeah, I should be here. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a week, okay? And Kami-sama give you strength. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Yeah. Next week, 11 p.m. EST, I'll do the live streaming again, and hopefully, I'll get to do like casual. Like this is casual enough, but I wanna make my live streams like a chat room style, and just people hanging out, like Japanese people and English speaking people just hanging out in the same room. That's something that I want to do. So I will try and make a thumbnail and start from there. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna roll out the outro now and go. So have a good night or good day. Okay, bye.